Well, now that we are safely distanced from each other, I'm Wayne Clews, and this is my wife, Wynne. And we have a story to tell. It was Christmas Eve, and we were getting ready to drive to Deer Park for the Christmas Eve service. The phone rang. It was our family doctor advising that Wynne's needle biopsy had reported positive, a malignancy. Now, nobody wants to hear that. After visits to the surgeon and a lumpectomy procedure, February 21, the result was as good as we could have asked for. Pathology reported that both the margins and those harvested lymph nodes tested clean. So an appointment with an oncologist was supposed to happen in April. Well, COVID-19 came. Fast forward to late March, I wasn't feeling very well. My family recognized that I needed to go to hospital. I ended up being the first COVID-19 patient in Red Deer Regional Hospital. After a few days, my test results came back confirming positive, which meant when was tested, she too tested positive. But she did much better than I, and she ended up managing at home very capably and did not have to go to hospital, although she was sick. Now, we have no idea where we contracted this disease. Try as we might, we cannot think of where we might have gotten it, nor do we know of anybody that contracted it from us. Now, the result was our entire family was placed under quarantine. Garnet and Ramona had driven me to the hospital. Well, Garnet, Ramona, and Wynne. Lori and Ken had been with us that day or the day before, and so they were quarantined. Kevin and Jackie were on the road home or had just come home from the US. We had motorhomes down there, and they had the mandatory quarantine, and so Wynne was truly left alone. Now I will turn this over to Wynne to describe how things went from this point. Wynne?
That evening, as Wayne's condition became very serious and life-threatening, our family, friends, and I literally cried out to God to answer our prayers to heal him. ICU visited him twice, and both times decided to wait a bit and see. Nurse Crystal spoke with Lori and advised her that with his temperature being 39.9 degrees, and with his chest not clearing, and with his struggle to breathe, she wondered if his body was growing tired of the fight. That is nurse talk, meaning this is really serious and he may not make it through the night. Morning came, and just like we prayed, the nurses could hear some healthy sounds in his lungs, and his temperature had dropped to almost normal. Tuesday night brought another issue with seriously elevated blood pressure and concern about heart issues and fluid building around the heart. Quite frankly, there was concern his heart could just give up. God had placed this wonderful nurse who was keeping close watch on the development of the side effects of the COVID-19. Once again, prayers were answered. On Tuesday, Wayne was not able to sit up alone, and by Wednesday, he was able to get himself up and walk to the bathroom. The nurses literally laughed in amazement. Now back to Wayne.
Well, my turnaround was miraculous. I got excited when I went to the bathroom and I was able to shave. If you can imagine, that's how good I felt. God had intervened and put me back on my feet. Several nurses expressed this had been a miracle. I was able to return home after 12 days in hospital. I was steady on my feet. I had good lung capacity. I was and remain pain-free. I walk a mile or more a day. I can climb steps very comfortably. I can play my horn, and I have good lung capacity. There is no evidence of any lingering damage from the disease that I had. And an X-ray confirms my lungs to be absolutely clear. Now, for a couple of takeaways from this. Takeaway number 1, COVID-19 is real and needs to be regarded as seriously contagious. Nothing has changed, despite being able now to go to a restaurant. Nothing has changed with COVID-19. We have, though, learned the effectiveness of social distancing and of staying away from crowds. And I would plead with people, regard this situation as though everybody else has COVID and you don't want to get it. Regard yourself as being infected with COVID and you don't want to give it to your friends or your neighbors. It's that serious. If we return to our normal behaviors of January and February, we can surely expect to experience what we did in March and April. And while in Alberta our numbers are pretty good, we still have too many. Our parents told us we cannot continue to do the same things and expect a different result. So COVID-19 has not been canceled, it has not been changed, and it continues to be a serious threat to our lives. That's why I carry this. No one wants to go there, and social distancing is worth doing. Second takeaway, and more important takeaway even. Psalm 103:2 says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits." Well, we're the recipients of a number of those benefits, and we're thankful. Healing from this dreadful life-threatening disease, that's a big one. Experiencing the love and support of our friends and the good folks at Deer Park. We have a church in Arizona where we spend the winter, Christ Community Church. A number of those people prayed on our behalf. We have friends literally all over the continent that prayed on our behalf. That's worth a lot. Then there's the peace of mind that comes from knowing that Jesus was serious when he said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one cometh unto the Father but by me." He meant that. And there are many more. There's the one that says, "I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee." And there are literally hundreds of expressions of similar reassurance in Scripture. These take on a very special meaning when you've experienced what we have. So let me close by saying thank you to all of you for your love and for your prayers.